Hello class, this is a production possibilities model video. First thing we want to do is understand the definitions of the production possibilities model, otherwise known as the production possibilities curve or the PPC. So, what is it? Well, we have a few assumptions here which underlie its definition. First thing is that we assume full employment on the PPC, meaning that the economy is employing all of its available resources, and by resources, I mean land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurial ability. So the assumption here is that all of these resources are currently being fully utilized. Second, we have fixed resources, meaning that the quantity and quality of the resources are fixed so that we're not going to have an increase in land or labor, capital, etc., nor will we have any increases in the quality of these resources. Now, when I say quality, for example, I mean better land or higher tech capital goods or a more educated workforce. So none of these things are happening. We're dealing with fixed resources. Fixed technology means that the methods used to produce output are fixed. The technology we have currently available is fixed. And we have two goods that we're going to use to better understand the PPC. So let's take a look at a basic PPC utilizing pizzas, which is our kind of agricultural non-capital good. And then we have industrial robots, which is our capital good. So point A, what does it mean? It means that in this economy, they are producing no pizzas and 10 robots. Again, no pizzas and 10 robots. And technically, of course, it would be 10,000 robots. At point B, they're producing one pizza and 9 robots. So notice that as you increase the production of one good, you have to decrease the production of the other good. And that's because our resources and our technology is fixed. If you have individuals only making robots, if you want them to shift and decrease the amount of robots that they make to 9 while increasing the amount of pizzas that they make, well, this means that you have to transfer some of those resources over to making pizzas from robots. And that shift has occurred, which means now you're making one pizza as opposed to 0 and 9 robots as opposed to 10. In our next stage, C, we're making one more pizza, so we have 2 total, and a few less robots from the beginning, so we're at 7. And notice how we continue to increase our pizzas as we go from A to E, and we continue to decrease our robots as we go from 10 to 0. So the PPC, again, 2 goods, fixed resources, fixed technology. All of this leads us to a concept called the law of increasing opportunity cost. And this is a very important law because it tells us that, by definition on page 15, as the production of a good increases, the opportunity cost of producing an additional unit rises. So as you go from A all the way to E, it's relatively more costly in terms of robots. For example, A to B, I go from 0 to 1 pizzas. And what was the cost of going from 0 to 1? 1 robot, because I went down by 1 robot from 10 to 9. Let's look at this, B to C. I increased my pizza again by 1, but now the cost is 2 robots because I've gone from 9 to 7. C to D, I increased my pizzas by 1, and my robots have decreased by 3. D to E, again, one pizza increase, and the robot amount went from 4 to 0. So every time I went from A to B to C to D to E, there was an increasing amount of robots that I had to forego making at each additional stage. That is the law of increasing opportunity cost. With each one pizza that I gain, I lose an increasing being the key word, amount of robots. But does it work the other way? The answer is yes. Let's start from right to left, and let's see if the law of increasing opportunity cost also applies. So in this case, I am at 0 robots and 4 pizzas. If I increase the amount of robots I produce to 4, I must forego some amount of pizzas, 1. If I'm at point D and I go to point C, and I increase the amount of robots I produce from 4 to 7, that means I gain 3. How many pizzas do I lose? 1. Is this the law of increasing opportunity cost? Yes, it is. Let's take a look. Going from 0 to 4 means that I gain 4 robots. Going from 0 to 4 means that I lose 1 pizza. So here's the question. If I gain 1 robot, how many pizzas do I forego going from stage E to D? The answer, 0.25. If I go from E, which is 0 robots, to D, which is 4 robots, I gain 4. But what if I just want to gain 1? What if I want to go from 0 to 1? Well, certainly you'll be going from E to D, but you won't be going really all the way to D. You just be going somewhere in the middle area. So 0 to 1, how many pizzas would it cost me to make just 1 robot? If it cost me 1 pizza to make 4 robots, then it must cost me 0.25 pizzas to make 1 robot. So we would say the opportunity cost of making 1 robot is 0.25 pizzas. Okay. Now, D to C, I gain 3 robots, and I have to forego the production of 1 pizza. If I gain the 5th robot, going from 4 to 5 in other words, how many pizzas must I forego? The answer, 0.33. How do I know this? Well, I know that going from 4 to 7 increases my robot amount by 3, and the cost of that is 1 pizza. Therefore, if I go from 4 to 5, it must be something less than 1, certainly, 1 pizza. And the answer is it costs 0.33 pizzas. Let's do the final 2. Going from point C to B, or stage C to B, I gain 2 robots, and I lose 1 pizza. To go from 7 to 8, now keep in mind I said 7 to 8, not 7 to 9. If I go from 7 to 8, how many pizzas will it cost me? 0.5 is your answer. And finally, going from 9 to 10, I gain 1 robot, and the cost of that is 1 pizza, and so it's already in single units. So 1 robot cost me 1 pizza. So notice that the big issue here is that I want to simplify the acquisition of robots to the single unit. I just want to gain 1 more. So whatever stage I'm in, whether it's stage E, D, C, or B, I ask the same question: what's the cost of gaining 1 additional robot? If I'm at point D, the question is 1 additional robot, which of course would be the 5th robot, cost me 0.33. Going from C to B would be 0.5. Going from B to A would be 1 pizza. So we do have the law of increasing opportunity costs going either from left to right and from right to left. What's the definition of law of increasing opportunity cost again? The principle that as the production of a good increases, the opportunity cost of producing an additional unit rises. I can see that very easily going from left to right, and I can also see that after a little bit of math going from right to left. Because within each stage, as I gain an additional robot, I have to give up the production of an increasing amount of pizzas. Here, we're looking at 0.25, 0.33, 0.5, and 1, and those numbers all increase as I go from right to left.